addicted to balling. I have to get my
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Able to spin free. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
22! Set! Waiting!
To throw on second down is Stafford. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They run with Breida. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Warren. This is Bell on the dump off. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Zach Cunningham in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! 3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on third down. Warren. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Here's Breida. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Stafford on third down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And the Steelers set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw on 2nd down. Warren. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
From the gun on 3rd down. Warren going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. This is Breida. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Breida. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll toss it to Breida. Evades him at the 20. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And they'll run it here. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll go on the ground. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a toss play. It's Breida down to the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Stafford. Flushed out right, looking for the end zone. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
21.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
All right, here we go. Hey, 22. Set. Waiting.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Zebra. Set. Waiting. Light. 93.
From the red zone now, Stafford eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. On the sneak, it's Stanford. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And now out come the Steelers. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Warren, flush to his right. And he comes back with one complete. Shedding the tackler and gives him some room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing on first down. Warren, he couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw again. Warren escaping the pressure right. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
After the interception, here's Stanford. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there for the Niners. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Play action. Stafford. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Extra point safely through. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A final shot before break. Warren. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught at the 20. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Zach Cunningham in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Warren, he's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Defense, got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. They go play action here on first down. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. In for the score. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. This quarterback now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%.
Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Looking to throw. Warren. Dancing to his left. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
All right, here we go.
On first down, Warren. And this is going to be incomplete.
Truthfully, I thought the offensive line did an excellent job on that play. We know they can only hold off pass rushers for so long, but I thought they did a great job keeping them at bay for a long, long time, even though he was hit at the end of that play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
All right, here we go.
Throwing again. Warren. A screen to Bell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10.
Gun!
Back to throw. Warren. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. DeForest Buckner coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Over!
Throwing on third and long. Warren. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off near the 26. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They usually look.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 9 yards on the pickup, but even after that, they're left with a third and very long. The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
22.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to fire one deep up, and this is caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Looking to throw. Warren. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Looking deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down. Check.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. A gain of 8 and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now Stafford steps away to his left. His throw caught right around the 6. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Set. 180. 21.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, 38 yards. And the 49ers continue to roll. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw on 2nd down. Warren. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets around him, and he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Following the fumble recovery, Warren. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
4 down.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, Warren. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A gain of 32 that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
180. Hey, tag 50 left.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go do the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.